Well, I'm back in London and I also have a new lens, but this is by no means a lens test video. So my new lens is the Laowa 7.5mm ultra-wide angle for my micro four thirds camera, which is about 15mm equivalent lens on a full frame camera. Now, even though I do have an ultra-wide angle zoom that I bought recently, the 8 to 18mm from Leica, I wanted a small and lightweight ultra-wide that I could just throw in my bag when I'm out shooting with my primes, which I often am when I'm shooting in London. So it needed to be small, it needed to be lightweight, but it also needed to be ultra sharp as well as ultra wide. And thankfully, this lens is all that. Well, this is my first time out with this lens. I haven't actually used it yet, so I want to try and get 5 different shots today. I want to do a view looking up, a view looking down, a low angle view, a view that exaggerates perspective, as these lenses do, and then something a bit of a wild card, something that I just find along the way, something close up, something full of colour, or something featuring lots of lines. So I'll wait and see what that is. Now, even though it is dry in London at the moment, it's meant to be raining this afternoon, and quite heavily actually, which is probably the worst type of weather I would want for doing these ultra wide angle shots. So we'll have to see how it goes, see if I get those shots I've got in mind. If it does start raining, then I have to bring plan B into effect, whatever plan B is. Probably lots of interior shots and lots of shots on the underground. But anyway, let's go and find some ultra wide angle views. Well, first up, it's going to be a view looking down. So where's the obvious place to go to get a shot with an ultra wide angle lens looking down? Well, the department store, of course. Where else? This department store. So this is the staircase in Hill's department store. I probably shouldn't be filming here. I think they're all right with you taking pictures, but probably not videoing, so I'll be quick. So I'm just going up to the top and doing the views looking down, using those lovely banisters as a bit of foreground. I put the ISO up to about 800, so get some good shutter speeds, because I'm trying to keep the aperture up to around 5.6, which is the kind of peak for this lens. Get some good depth of field from top to bottom, foreground to background. And just shoot away, but it's beautiful. Well, I'm over in Broadgate now, but as forecast, it is raining, which kind of, at the moment, puts an end to these shots. Anytime I'm getting the camera out, anytime I'm putting the camera looking up, just getting raindrops on the lens, so it's really tricky to do this. So if it's going to continue on raining, this video may end up just being spiral staircases of London, which actually isn't a bad idea for a video. But I'm determined to get at least one shot from here, even if that's it for the afternoon on the outside anyway. So here I'm going to try and get a shot of exaggerated perspective using this wide angle lens. Well, I may have got one shot there, but apart from that, it's wet and it's miserable here. I don't think I can get any other shots, so tell you what, let's go and find another staircase. Now before I leave, whilst I'm under a bit of shelter here, let me just quickly tell you about this lens. Well, it's a completely manual lens. It means it's got no electronic coupling to the camera, and also it's got no autofocus either. So it's just like my fisheye lens that I used when I was in Newcastle. Link up here to that video. So I have to use it completely manual, but all that means is that I just knock it off infinity and just leave it there. I don't have to change the focus each time, just take it off infinity, and then I get front to back sharpness whichever shot I take. And I'll just put the aperture on f5.6 or f8, which I do actually do on the lens rather than in camera because it's not electronically coupled, but then I can just leave it like that and again get that front to back sharpness. The camera allows for that with the shutter speed and gives me a correctly exposed image. So it's dead easy to use despite it being a fully manual lens. Oh, and because it's only got a 46mm front filter thread, I can also use my 7.5 filters on this lens, no problem. So this is the staircase at the Wellcome Trust, which is near Euston Station. Wonderful looking staircase, great shots to do looking up and looking down. So this makes an ideal spiral staircase to do, especially when it's raining outside. Well, we're definitely into plan B now, which is unfortunate, but at least we've got shots to do. The next shot then is over at Blackfriars. This is where I am now. Hopefully this rain will clear off this evening because I am here until it gets dark. So maybe I'll get some good shots this evening if it dries up, especially with all the wet pavements around. But for now, my next shot, my next spiral staircase is here at this Premier Inn. Well, some spiral staircases look good from the bottom looking up, some look good from the top looking down. And this one I think looks better looking down. Anything you've got to be aware of when you're looking down, especially when you're looking over the banister, you have to get your feet in a shot. Oh, and by the way, I did ask at reception if I could come and do these pictures. They were okay with it. Well, it's still raining outside, so do you want to do another spiral staircase, or should we just call it a day here? Should we go home? That's it? Or do you want another one? Your choice. Let's do another one. Somerset House. No, it's not this one, although this one is very nice. It's actually the one down the other end. Well, the technique for doing these staircases has been very much the same so far. It's just a case of getting the composition right for using these ultra-wide angle lenses on these staircases, so making the most of the shapes available and filling the frame. The only difference with this one is that I've had to upgrade the ISO over 1000 just because it's so dark in here. So dark. Well, that's the spiral staircase here at Somerset House done, and my spiral staircase is done. I did have one more to do, but it's actually stopped raining, so I may get back on track now and try and do some of the shots that I was going to do originally. It's also just starting to get dark, so going to get some lights on and make a more interesting view as well. I just hope that rain holds off. Well, when I said it had stopped raining, I think I spoke too soon because it hasn't, it's still raining, but I'm going to try and get some shots anyway. So I've come over to the city area and this is going to be my views looking up. So I think tonight's technique is going to be compose, take shot, wipe lens, repeat. Well, I'm wet, the camera's wet and the lens is wet, but there's still one more shot I want to try and get this evening before I go home. And I want to get a nice low angle shot, so I'm going to head over to Regent Street and see if I can get over there. Oh, and as we are on the underground and we haven't done a shot down here, let's do that right now. Well, within the chaos of Regent Street, I want to get a nice low angle view, street level, worm's eye view of this chaotic street, full of shoppers, pouring with rain. I must be mad. Well, I've had enough, so I'm going home. Well, thanks for watching.